Good morning, everyone. These are my Uefa Champions League predictions, betting tips, and correct score for round 1. And before I call out all the games, when I say correct score, I did not mean you should stick on all the whole correct score together or combine all the correct score together and stick on it. These correct scores is my own point of view. The main thing you should be focusing on this particular video is the betting tips. The tips attached to the correct score. And why a correct score is being provided here is for you to use them as a guide to make your own predictions. For example, if I say Liverpool versus AC Milan, my correct score is 1-1. When you see that kind of correct score, what should come into your mind? JB predicts the game has a very good chance of ending in 1-1. Number one, we have both teams to score there. We have over 1.5. We have X2. We have 1X. We have under 4.5. Like, look for options surrounding that particular correct score. Not just go and combine all the whole correct score together and expect miracle to happen. It doesn't work that way. So these are my Champions League correct score, betting tips, and also predictions for round 1. To be honest, when I found out how this Champions League system is, it's very, very crazy. It's much. Like now, this week alone is for Champions League. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays for Champions League. Then I guess next week is for Europa. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Then the following week is for Conference League. To be honest, it's going to be much. But we wish ourselves all the best. And one more thing. The long-running slip I will provide, please, which odd is best for it? Because tomorrow I will release the long-running slip for the UEFA Champions League from tomorrow, Tuesday, down to Thursday. Our last long-running slip we did for this weekend that just passed was only messed up by Liverpool. Our 30 odds long-running slip was messed up by only Liverpool to win. After the whole Sunday games ended, found out that Liverpool to win messed up our 30 odds long-running slip. Very, very painful and heartbreaking. So guys, which odds is okay for this UEFA Champions League from Tuesday to Thursday? 30 odds, 10 odds, 20 odds, 15 odds. Whatever you want to, whatever option you want to select, drop it in the comment section. I'll also talk about it on my Telegram. So ensure you are joining my Telegram. It's very, very important. So let's dive into the business of today. If you are new to the channel, ensure you're hitting the like button and subscribe if you have not subscribed. So down to the Champions League predictions and correct score. Our first game, to be honest, is really, really tough. All these games, most of them are very, very tough. Our first game, we have Juventus versus PSV. Juventus versus PSV. My correct score here is 1 to Juventus, 1 to PSV. I know Juventus very well. They can be very, very crazy. Like, Juventus is a team that you cannot depend on. They can surprise you. You understand? So 1 to Juventus, 1 to PSV. And my prediction here is Juventus to win or draw. And the total goes to be over 1.5 in full time. We have the next game to be Young Boys versus Aston Villa. We have the game to be, or the correct score to be 1 to Aston Villa, 3 to, Young Boys versus Aston Villa. We have 1 to Young Boys and 3 to Aston Villa. That is the correct score, 1-3. And the betting tips is Aston Villa to win or draw. And the total goes to be over 1.5 in full time. We also have AC Milan versus Liverpool. We have 1 to AC Milan, 2 to Liverpool. And the betting tips is Liverpool to win or draw at full time. We just hope Liverpool does not surprise us again. We have Bayern Munich versus Dynamo Zagreb. We have Bayern 3, Zagreb 0. And the betting tips is Bayern to win and the total goes to be over 1.5 in full time. We have Real Madrid versus Stuttgart. We have Real Madrid 2, Stuttgart 0. And the betting tips is Real Madrid to win at full time. Remember, take notes mostly for the betting tips. Take note of the betting tips. Forget about this correct score. You can use the correct score as a guide. Except you can just observe any correct score that you feel is very, very safe and has a very good chance of happening. This is just my own point of view after my analysis. That is it. We have Sporting versus Lille. We have Sporting 2, Lille 1. And the betting tips here is Sporting to win or draw. And the total goes to be over 1.5 in full time. We have the next game to be Bologna versus Shakhtar Donetsk. I'm not expecting too much goals in this match. We have Bologna 1, Shakhtar Donetsk 1, and the betting tips here is Bologna to win or draw in full time. We have Sparta Prague versus Salzburg. The correct score here is 2 to Sparta Prague and 2 to Salzburg, and the betting tips is both teams to score in full time. For safety, for this particular game between Sparta Prague and Salzburg is over 1.5. Very easy. We have Celtic versus Slovan Bratislava. We have the betting tips and the correct score to be 2-0, 2 to Celtic, 0 to Slovan Bratislava, and the betting tips is Celtic to win at full time. And again, if you want the booking code for this game, join my Telegram. I will try and drop the code for this Champions League round 1 predictions and tips. If you want the code, join my Telegram. I might drop it there. So we have the next game to be Club Brugge versus Dortmund. You have 1 to Club Brugge, 2 to Dortmund, and the betting tips here is Dortmund to win or draw in full time. We have Man City versus Inter Milan. 2 seasons ago, Champions League final, Man City and Inter Milan. It was a very, very tight one in which Man City won just 1-0. So I'm expecting the game to also be tight because defensively, Inter Milan are good. We have the predictions to be 2 to Man City, 1 to Inter Milan. And the prediction or betting tips is Man City to win or draw. And the total goes to be under 4.5. We have the next game to be PSG versus Girona. We have 3 to PSG and 1 to Girona. And the betting tips is PSG to win at least 1/2 in full time. They should win either the first half or win the second half. One of the halves, PSG to win it. PSG has been in a very good form since they sold Mbappe. PSG has just found themselves. We have the next game to be Crvena Zvezda versus Benfica. We have 1 to Crvena Zvezda, also known as Red Star Belgrade, 2 to Benfica, and the betting tips is over 1.5 goals in full time. We have Feyenoord versus Leverkusen. We have 1 to Feyenoord, 3 to Leverkusen, and the betting tips is Leverkusen to win or draw, and the total goes to be over 1.5 in full time. We have the next game to be Atlanta versus Arsenal, in which they are struggling with injuries. We have Atlanta 1, Arsenal 2, and the betting tips here is Arsenal to win or draw in full time. We have Atletico Madrid versus RB Leipzig. We have 2 to Atletico Madrid, 1 to RB Leipzig, and the betting tips is Atletico Madrid to win or draw in full time. We have Brest versus Stormgrass. We have 1 to Brest and 1 to Stormgrass, and the betting tips is over 1.5 goals in full time. Finally, AS Monaco versus Barcelona. We have 1 to AS Monaco, 3 to Barcelona, and the betting tips is Barcelona to win or draw, and the total goes to be over 1.5 in full time. So guys, these are all the Champions League predictions and betting tips starting from Tuesday and ending on Thursday. So I wish us all the best. Briefly, let me just run through it. Just the betting tips. Juventus versus PSG. Juventus to win or draw, and the total goes to be over 1.5. Young Boys versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa to win or draw, and the total goes to be over 1.5. AC Milan versus Liverpool. Liverpool to win or draw. Bayern Munich versus Dynamo Zagreb. Bayern to win and over 1.5. Real Madrid versus Stuttgart, Real Madrid to win. Sporting versus Lille, Sporting to win or draw and over 1.5. Bologna versus Shakhtar Donetsk, Bologna to win or draw. Sparta Prague versus Salzburg, both teams to score. Other options over 1.5. Celtic versus Slovan Bratislava, Celtic to win. Club Brugge versus Dortmund, Dortmund to win or draw. Man City versus Inter Milan, Man City to win or draw and under 4.5 goals. PSG versus Girona, PSG to win at least 1/2. Crvena Zvezda versus Benfica over 1.5 goals. Feyenoord versus Leverkusen, Leverkusen to win or draw and over 1.5 goals. Atlanta versus Arsenal, Arsenal to win or draw. Atletico Madrid to win or draw also versus Leipzig. Over 1.5 goals between Brest and Stormgrass. And finally, Monaco versus Barcelona, Barcelona to win or draw, and the total goes to be over 1.5. So guys, that is all for today, and I wish us all the best for this week. Remember, if you want the code, I might or I might not. I might drop if I have time on my hand, because I want to start working on the long running sleep. If I have time on my hand, I will drop the booking code on Telegram. So ensure you're joining my Telegram for also free football predictions and for the code. So ensure you are joining my Telegram. The link is pinned in the comment section. So I will see you guys next time. Have a blessed and wonderful day, and we'll pray for a successful week. That is just all I have to say. See you next time, and bye for now.